every link a heart did dangle, for every maid he loved and wrong. All right. Well, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind. More than one on me too. One stole me once and she ran mine. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. Not now, but you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just find a place to make your stand and take it easy. When I was standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona, such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down to take a look at me. Well, come on, baby, don't say maybe. I gotta know sweet love is gonna save me. We may win, but we will never get here again. So we're about time it is. So take it easy. Well, I was running down the road trying to loosen my load. Got a world of trouble on my mind. Looking for a lover who won't blow my cover. She's so hard to find. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels make you crazy. Come on, baby, don't say maybe. I gotta know that sweet love is gonna save me.
Is there a bean amongst us? There we go.
How you doing?
You talk. Tell me, bean.
Oh,
Equals?
speak
Let's
now.
go, baby.
Pardon my controls here.
Yeah, that's why we have pre-show. We're showing up at the
Oh,
bar
oh,
talking. Dude, you were in the bad examples?
I am.
Wait, where are like
Still am. Still am.
still
I'm not
at?
an original, but
Okay.
I've been playing on and off with Ralph for 20 years. So yeah, I've been in the bad examples. I actually got into the bad examples through Ralph's. You ever hear of Ralph's World? It's a Ralph
Yeah.
Covert. So I started playing with Ralph uh, probably about 15 to maybe almost 20 years ago. And I'd sent you the stuff about Tom Pickles Pekarsky, and I
Yeah.
met Ralph through Pickles, who I was playing, in JP and the Cats for many years. And he had this Disney contract. He had a deal with Disney where he was putting out all these Ralph's with these kids records. And Ralph was on Playhouse Disney every morning, so I managed to start playing local and regional shows with Ralph. And of course, I wasn't the original Bad Examples drummer. He had a couple other guys doing those shows, and then eventually I was invited to do some shows. And I think I started doing Bad Example shows maybe 12 years ago. But
Hmm.
so now, Ralph has moved out to San Diego, but he's still touring all over doing his kids shows periodically, and he comes into town couple times a year, 3 times a year, and we do Bad Examples shows. So I know the catalog. So a lot of tunes, man. He's such a great writer. So it's awesome to play with him.
No, that's all. I mean, you know what? When we get done, if I take good care of you, Chris, Bean, see
Yeah,
if we
just call
get,
me Bean. That's fine.
all right, Bean. If we can get,
Yeah,
I'd love to have Ralph on because I want to say, oh
yeah.
man, I used to work at the Cubby Bear and early
Okay,
90s, and he was Wednesday, Thursday. We put him in there, and it was a
okay.
nice rotation and
Sure. Yeah.
uh,
Well,
a lot of
so
fun.
oh yeah, great band. I mean, just so many tunes. The tunes are great. Players are always great, and even to this day, I really enjoy playing the music, and Ralph's he's still writing. I sent you
Yeah.
one tune I did with him recently, but we were actually supposed to have a session pretty over the winter, and it just fell through. We couldn't connect, but he still has a studio downtown, Water Dog Records, so we connect there every once in a while. And but absolutely, so if you want me to hook you up with Ralph or whatever, or I can
Yeah,
hook him up,
I'd love
give you your
to.
contact. Yeah.
It'd be like, I remember that big S so and so. I'm like, that was I. So
Cool.
talk to me, Eagles.
Cool.
How did you get started in Eagles, Bean?
Well,
Heartache Tonight.
Heartache Tonight. So the history of Heartache Tonight kind of started. Tom Carey's the band leader, and I had played with there were a lot of musical acquaintances, and we crossed paths, but I didn't know Tom. But so he had left town. He had a band called the Tom Carey Band, and they were pretty successfully locally. They did a ton of shows. Those guys they must have been playing 150 shows a year all over. They did really good. Corona had them sponsored. They were doing the whole Buffett thing, and
Huh?
they were really successful. Great players. They did made some records. And Tom left town for a couple of years. He had some commitments. He moved to Ohio for whatever he had going on there, and then he came back to town a couple of years later, and he wanted to put a band together. And so the keyboard player at the time recommended me because I was still playing in a couple other bands that I think that are listed down there. I forgot who I was playing with at the time, and we got together and talked a little bit, got together and played, and we were just going to put together a cover band, go out and the mix we had, we played a couple Eagles tunes and actually sounded pretty good. So Tom called me up and said, "Hey, what do you think about doing an Eagles tribute band?" And I said, at the time, that was 20 years ago, man. I mean, you
Yeah.
you know how it, tribute bands were not always the most hip thing to do at the time, so I had a little reservation about just kind of pigeonholing one style of music, but I love the Eagles, and quite
Yeah.
honestly, I didn't need a lyric sheet. I mean, I knew all the tunes, I knew all the parts. We've all probably played all those tunes, you know what I mean? So we started doing it, and I give a lot of credit to Tom Carey. He had a lot of vision, and we stuck with it, and that's kind of how it started. We evolved over the years with a lot of different players. Generally, still the same lineup, but that's kind of how it started. So we people liked the product. We were out doing some great shows and had some great players. And I mean, the material is the material. People want to hear that stuff. So that's kind of where it started, and it kind of evolved into something where we decided to take regionally. We just wanted to get out and be on the Chicago market, and here we are. How you doing?
Chris Rhodesy Rhodes.
Hey, hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry I'm late.
Two drummers.
Two drummers.
Nice.
Two drummers and a crappy bass player. We got
Yeah, we got a band.
That's it. Lead bass, man. Yeah.
Let's go.
So,
Actually, I like the artwork. I like the artwork behind you. That's cool.
thank you. You know what? That's actually if I could move my camera, I would, but that's a painting that was made. I was in a band, JP and the Cats, for on and off for 15 to 20 years. And JP, who's Jim Tulk, actually painted that. And it's me on my drum kit. I don't know if
That's very
you can see
cool.
it.
Yeah, no. Now that you say it, I can see the arm in there. Now that you said that.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. So, and it's gigantic. So I have it hanging here in my basement. It's sentimental value because I love the guy to death, and I've done, gosh, well, if I was in that, I mean, I've just done so many shows all over with him. So I cherish the gift. I think he painted it it was in 2001 that he painted that, because on the bottom there's a signature. Yeah. So anyway,
I want to put a black light on it. That thing would just pop like Tron. Yeah.
Oh, it's psychedelic, man. It's psychedelic. Good thing I'm not looking at it back in the day. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Just never go on a podcast with Pete, because he'll just start feeding you a little candy.
Seriously, you asked about how this started, and then it evolved, and then there was probably between 4 and 10, either regional or national. I mean, there's a couple. I think Hotel California was the first one that toured national. So, but we started doing it regionally. When we started going outside of this particular market, there was probably maybe 4 or 5 in the country. Now there's like 450. So, so if there's a concern about revenue, they got a lot of people to track down these days. You know what I mean? So, but it is what it is. You know.
Bean, look who showed up.
Let me see who's here. Is he still in Tampa?
Yeah, he's still from the Florida campus.
From the Florida campus.
How you doing, Mike?
How's it going, Chris?
Man?
Good to see you.
Thanks, man. Oh yeah, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for having me. And Connie talks about you guys have known each other for a long time, and I guess we were going to try and do this a while ago, and we just didn't connect. So I'm glad we are now. How's your vacation going? Good.
It's good. I mean, we got this is the old condo. Well, I say condo. This is actually an Airbnb. My condo is actually in St. Petersburg, but my sister-in-law and my niece are there. So me and my wife grabbed the house in Tampa. So if you're familiar with the Tampa area, you know that area?
A little bit. I've been down there a number of times. I don't know the city that well, but I know the area.
Yeah, so we're like 10 minutes from Ybor City. We're right by we were at Ybor City today. We ate at the world famous Columbia restaurant, the oldest Spanish restaurant in the United States.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
well, I haven't been there. I got to put it on the list.
And then we're like right by the Riverwalk too, but it's nice. We went to the beach yesterday, so we got down to the beach. We went to the Reggae Rise Up on Saturday. So unfortunately, Pete wanted me to get into a drum circle.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a chance to do it. So I apologize.
Says you, I just made one.
I can't wait
to get out to Madeira.
That's closer to where our condo is. It's over by St. Pete's. Yeah.
Yeah, we love that area. We've been down there several times recently. So over the last
How are the flights with all the weather and all that stuff and the government and all that? Any issues, Bongo Mike? Any people that are traveling give them the heads up?
No, I mean, we went out on Wednesday of last week, and really there was no issues. I mean, we got through, the TSA pre-check was still working, and we got through very quickly. The only thing that kind of sucked is we had to go pick up the car at the condo, and I don't know, they're starting like road work. They're done with the Howard Franklin Bridge, but they do this road work at like 11 o'clock at night. So it went down from like 4 lanes down to one.
Yeah.
So it took a long time to get the car and then get back here.
I will say, Mike, that's the best thing about down south is they do all the road construction third shift to avoid the workflow, the morning work rush.
Oh gosh.
What a concept, Tom. What a concept.
Yeah, if they were to do that during regular rush hour, I couldn't imagine how dreadful it would be. I mean, it was 11:15 at night, and it took us a half hour to get through this merge, you know.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad. I mean, overall, there wasn't any issues with the flights or the TSA. I was a little concerned about that. If it's bad now, like I said, I go back on Thursday. So I mean, if it's bad, I'll let you know. So far, so good.
So we got two drummers, a percussionist, and a crappy bassist. Bean, how hard is it to drum and sing? That's gotta be rough. I'd love to see Rhodesy sing too and drum, but how hard is it, Bean? Were you always able to do it, or just?
Well, it's a great question. People ask me that a lot, but I'll be honest with you. It depends on tune. First of all, you're right. I've been doing it for a long time. I mean, I started when I was 12 years old singing and playing. So that I have a little advantage there. I'm kind of a singer that plays drums and a drummer who sings. So, but there's a video out there that Levon Helm put out there. And I will say this, on some songs, it's actually easier to play and sing than just play without singing. Because when you're phrasing lyrics in a tune, you naturally understand the flow. It helps you with tempo, where that should sit from a tempo perspective, right? And then you just kind of it kind of helps the tune flow. So I don't know how to answer it other than I'm just so used to doing it. There's definitely some tunes I can't do it on for sure. I mean, if they're extra choppy or, some of the easiest time signatures you'd think to play, at least for me. I mean, 6/8, singing and playing 6/8 time signature for me is more difficult than playing odd time signatures or playing really fast or playing really slow. It just depends on the tune. So it's just something I've always done, but I'm always working on it, trying to get better anyway.
Yeah.
Asking the panel here, who's the best drummer / singer of all time, Bean? Is it Levon, like you said? Is it Phil Collins? Like, who is it?
I mean, Levon's got to be right up there because you got that groove thing happening. You know what I mean? And so to sing and play in groove. But I mean, I'm always partial to Henley because that's, he's a great guy, Phil Collins. But, a lot of times when I saw Phil Collins, he only went back to the drum kit to sing and play a few times. He's got Chester Thompson with him. So
exactly. I was going to say, he really wasn't like he's normally the front guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know. There's so many good ones. But the hardest thing for me, or the thing that I could at least pay the most attention to, is making sure. The biggest challenge for me is just not pushing tempo, trying to maintain a groove, because that's why, again, sometimes singing and playing is easier because you know where it needs to be and where it falls. It's I don't know, to answer your question, Pete. I don't know, man. I mean, are there other guys I'm forgetting? There's got to be. Right?
I will say that there are some songs that just in bands that it's just not meant to be the drummer being the singer, like Tool, for instance. I could think of a handful of Tool tunes that are so crazy.
Would you count Dave Grohl?
Well, Dave doesn't really sing. He had a drummer too. I mean, he had
Taylor Hawkins.
Yeah.
So
I
don't
know.
I have to agree with Chris. I mean, Don Henley has got to be at the top of that list for sure. I mean,
Ringo,
so iconic.
Well, Ringo did
play and sing.
I think he did on a couple tunes. I think he did. But they stopped touring so early. Who knows?
I was going to say, his big hits, they weren't touring on his stuff.
Right.
Ringo had that cool swing thing going on the hi-hat, right? He had
the
way he played that hi-hat was so unique.
All right, Roger Taylor, Queen. Yes or
saw
no?
Green.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
There
yeah.
you go. Forgot
Yeah.
about him. And he had that really high voice too. So
Oh,
I
wait,
didn't know that.
wait. Did you say high voice? Karen Carpenter?
Yes,
Oh yeah.
right on, man. She used to get all pissed off because she didn't get any props for being a good drummer.
She was a really good drummer.
Yeah.
I
She
know,
chopped.
but I think when they went in to do the records, they brought in session players, and she got all pissed off about it. At least that's what I read. So
Yeah, I'm sure.
Sheila E.
anyway, Sheila E. There you go, Sheila E. She's a good one. Yeah,
And then
But she was
Bongo,
more of a percussionist, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's a drummer too.
I know, but I mean, like when I think of the context of Sheila E., I always picture her on the timbales.
See, the thing is we're straying off because, like I said, people like Henley and a few other guys, they actually play every song and sing on every song. Where Sheila E., she's got a drummer. Phil had a drummer. Dave Grohl's got a drummer. So
Meg White.
who?
Meg White.
Meg White.
Stripes?
Does she sing?
she sang. I didn't know.
A couple songs, I think.
I don't know.
All right, man.
We'll let the viewers and listeners skewer us in the comments on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure we forgot somebody who's great. I'm sure, but
The guy who just died from Three Doors Down actually was the drummer and the singer. But yeah, he's the guy. He wrote a lot of the songs. Yeah, I think he killed himself, didn't he?
Yeah.
No, I think it was sick.
That's right. He was. That's right. Yeah,
he had cancer. Yeah,
but he was the
Paul
drummer.
Doucette.
What's
Brad
that?
Brad Arnold. Paul Doucette.
Brad Arnold.
Arnold.
Arnold. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw them live, he had a drummer, but I know like on the album, he's credited as singing and drumming. So I don't know if he did it at the same time.
Really?
Like Karen Carpenter. Yeah.
Wow, cool.
I know. I was surprised by
Maybe we
that.
forgot somebody.
Bongo Mike forgot somebody. His hero, Desi Arnaz.
Babalu.
You got some explaining to do.
Babalu.
I didn't know he was a drummer. I guess I watched too much Lucy and wasn't thinking of his musical chops.
I think he was a band leader, wasn't he?
We're crossing lines here. We're crossing a lot of
We
lines.
are. Getting off the reservation, man. Yeah.
What do you think is harder, drumming and singing, or playing bass and singing?
Drumming.
Yeah.
Well,
I think so.
I don't know.
I guess
It's all relative to me.
Yeah, it just depends.
When you have to sing straight time and you have a lot of syncopations, as bass parts do, I don't know. I wouldn't want to try doing the bass thing, Pete. So,
okay.
God bless you.
I think it depends on the music too, right? I mean, depends on what type of music you're playing. If it's simple stuff, I don't think it's as difficult. When it's complex, I would say if it's something like along the lines of Yes, if you're Chris Squire and you're doing all these intricate bass lines with timing changes.
Well, look at Geddy Lee, man. Geddy Lee did all those crazy bass parts and sang lead. And did keys and played. That's nuts, man.
That's a good point.
So I don't know.
Also, Les Claypool too. Les Claypool.
That's crazy.
Crazy. He's pretty unbelievable. Not a great voice, but I mean, he could do a lot. He was doing a lot of notes and a lot of singing when I saw him.
He's using both sides of his brain and his third eye when he.
No doubt.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, I do find that the more you think about it, the harder it gets. That's for sure. So I just kind of go with it.
I got a question for Chris, I apologize since I got in here a little late if I missed it, but you guys, you're involved in Blue Bayou, which has now changed, and it's now doing the music of Laurel Canyon. I happened to see Mike Ostrenga over at the concert for Gordy, and he showed me this new set list that you guys were doing and kind of revamped it, and you had all these different songs, and I know you've got some shows coming up. I definitely want to come out and check you guys out, but can you talk a little bit about that? Did you talk about that transition from Blue Bayou into this I want to say desert rock. It's not desert rock, and I apologize.
Well, it was started as a kind of a lore. Yeah, we were doing the Linda thing. We're still going to do the Linda thing because Mike introduced me to Tamara Woodruff, who's fantastic, and I met her. We've been working on the Blue Bayou thing, and we just found so through the evolution of the band, we acquired 4 singers who can sing leads. So we kind of wanted to expand that catalog, kind of give us the ability to play different venues for different crowds. So this was Tamara's idea to do this. And so what she came up with was doing what we're calling Pacific Sound Company, PSC.
Yeah.
And we started as a Laurel Canyon type of thing, but we wanted to expand that to do a whole West Coast thing. So what we're doing is just cover tunes from everybody down, from your LA Basin area, all the classics that we know, all the way up the coast, all the way up to Seattle. We're doing Heart stuff, we're doing Bay Area stuff, we're doing Sly and the Family Stone, a Journey tune here and there. I know everyone does Journey tunes, but there's some with all the singers, so we're really concentrating on the West Coast artists that have a lot of vocals, mamas and papas, things like that. So it's pretty exciting. And I actually got a show on the 27th at Mickey Finn's is going to be a PSC show, our first local show. We've done a couple. We did one in Milwaukee, Lockport. We've done a few out there, and it's going good. So that's. That's where we're at. Bless you.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's really exciting. I mean, when I saw that set list, I was really impressed, and I had just seen. So I said desert rock, and I apologize, but I had just went to Soundtracks of a Generation, and they have a thing called desert rock. And when I was there, I saw Jody Fields. She was at that show.
Yep.
And
she's in the PSC.
Yeah, I just happened to bump into her, and then 2 weeks later or whatever it was. Here I see Mike Ostrenga, and he tells me about this, and I go, well, this is weird. I go, I just kind of saw Soundtracks of a Generation and they really are focusing in on only the Laurel Canyon stuff. So they're doing Jackson Browne, they're doing CSNN, they're doing Neil Young, and they're really taking that music. And I thought it was a great concept for, what you guys have, so much talent in that band. And like you said, 4 incredible vocalists. I think it's a great idea, and I actually have that on my calendar. So I hope to be at Mickey.
Come on out.
That show.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. And, like I said, I mean, for me, I was happy just doing the back vocals on the Linda stuff. But, I'm happy to sing. And unlike Heartache, I don't have to sing as many tunes, which is great. I still get to sing backups on a lot of stuff. But, like you said, the lineup's great. Song choice is great. Tamara's great. Jody's great. We have Rob Jess too. I think you guys know Rob.
Oh yeah.
And then we got Tommy O'Brien, who I played with Tommy for 20 years, on there as well. So it's going to be a great show, and we're looking forward to it. Tamara's getting us out there, so she's got a lot of other shows. So that I think. You can get to that Pacific Sound Company link on Facebook. So anybody who's watching, check it out. It's going to be fun.
How did you guys come up with the name?
Tamara and Tommy O'Brien talked about stuff. She didn't call me, thank God, because I've always been horrible at finding band names, but it just really focused on the West Coast thing. So it was Pacific Sound Company. She had a couple ideas, but she's the lady with the plan, so she made it happen.
That's great.
Being Eagles, that's not easy. Three guitars. How do you coordinate 3 guitars? Like, does it ever get off, or what? Got any horror stories? Bad sound guys?
Well, the good part is we have our own sound guy, which that helps a lot. We use Dale Tulk, who I've worked with for 30 years. So that solves that problem. Once in a while, he can't make a show, or sometimes we have a venue where they want to use their guy. But Dale travels with us, and he's great. But to answer your question, it's just about space. When we just try and stay disciplined, I think, I know everyone in the band does, because if you get a little bit outside of your part, all of a sudden you're stepping on someone else, and you're going to get the stink eye eventually. You know what I mean? So it's just about.
Bean, what's the stink eye look like? Give it to me.
The stink eye looks like, or like this. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Right?
The turnaround looking at the drummer.
Well, yeah, yeah. Oh, that happens. Believe me, that happens periodically. But it's just, when you got six guys in a band, any band, not just that band. I mean, I play in some
Yeah.
other bands that got 12 people in them with horns. You just gotta stay in your lane, man. Stay in your lane. Play to the song.
Now the Eagles, that's some hard stuff, right? Because it's timed so precisely. And
Mhm.
what's the hardest song to reproduce on stage that people don't realize how fucking hard it is?
Well,
My money would be on New Kid in Town.
I was gonna say New Kid. I swear to God. You nailed it. That's one of the hardest ones, just because you got to have dynamics. You got to have pitch on the vocals. You got to make sure you nail those parts. There's a lot of oohs and ahs. New Kid is probably the biggest challenge, and it's weird though, because I'm glad you said that, Pete, because when we started this up, and I think you guys know the critics have always been on their case, the Eagles, but when we worked this stuff up, there's a lot of shit going on. I mean, you got to
Yeah.
you dissect some of the stuff, and that's with anything. We're going through that now with PSC, going through some of these parts. And these are great session players, and everybody out there had their shit together when they went to the studio. So, but yeah, I would say New Kid's right up there. New Kid is right up there.
Speaking of staying in your lane, that's that song. Everybody stays in their
That me?
lane and it works.
The Hotel California ending, does that one just drive people nuts? The guitar duel?
What do you mean?
Just at
As
the
far
end,
as
one takes the lead, one has to go back. I'm not a guitar player. I'm just taking notes here of some of the harder songs that the Eagles play. And Hotel California keeps popping up, and they keep pointing towards the ending. I'm just wondering if you ever noticed any of that, Rhodesy.
I will say that I have actually ended that song a little bit early on a few occasions because it was just like, okay, move on. You guys have been going for like 10 minutes now. It's okay. It's over with. I've cut that short a few times just because the guitar players, if you don't bring them back in, they'll go for a day.
Who's worse, the Eagles or Grateful
Yeah.
Dead in song length?
Oh,
Grateful
I think
Dead. Grateful
Grateful
Dead.
Dead.
Grateful Dead.
Yeah, you can't.
Actually,
Yeah.
Steve
Heartache
Miller's
Tonight's
up
not.
there too.
I'm just looking to get a rise out of Bongo Mike. That's all.
I love
Yeah,
all
there you
that
go.
stuff.
Has any Eagles member ever showed up to a show that you know of?
Our show?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I think the closest I can get, somebody told me, I don't know if it's true or not, but one time a guy told me that Joe Vitale was out there. He's not really an Eagle, but Joe Vitale played with Joe Walsh, and I heard tales he was at one of our shows, but that's it. I think those guys don't want to go see any Eagles music at this point.
Yeah.
So when I think we talked about the Eagles a couple weeks back on one of our other episodes, and I had made mention that it's one of the few bands out there that will actually have their lawyers contact you when they a cease and desist, and they made us take it easy in one of these nights. And you guys are obviously endorsed by them, right? I mean, you not endorsed per se, but like you don't, they never bother you guys, right?
I think, and I was telling Pete before, Tom Carey, I think, has had some correspondence with them, but I leave that to him, and he
I don't know
handles all that
nothing.
stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I think, and then the other thing is, there's so many Eagles bands out there now, so I don't think they're as concerned as maybe when they were early on. So,
But Chris made a good point that they don't do merch, so that would be
yeah.
But it's not even the merch. I mean, they made us take down videos that were on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Oh no, we don't. If you look at the Heartache Tonight site and you click on our video, we respect the copyright laws and blah blah blah. So we don't on the Heartache Tonight site. We don't have any video on.
Okay,
and that's because of that. Yeah. So, but as far as anything else from that, and there's nothing. I mean, we're out there, man. We've been out there. So, like I said, Tom Carey does a great job of navigating through all that business stuff. They don't want me dealing with it. That's for sure.
We did
whether it's live or
at a show, and I think Facebook silenced the video. If I remember right, I think we got something. It was like some kind of like copyright infringement.
It was a love tap, Chris. It was nothing.
A video. There was no sound on it. It was weird.
Well, what was weird
That
is I saw that people were posting videos from the Sphere, and I was waiting for those things to get taken down. You know, with one of
I
their
know
yeah, and it didn't. So
it didn't.
Giving up.
Well, the
I don't. I think it's only bands they pull down. You know, bands that they know have a revenue stream coming in. But maybe
Yeah.
they're just concentrating on that. I don't know, but yeah. Hey, we're gonna we're gonna continue doing it as long as we can do it because we love playing the tunes. And like I said, I'll leave that to Tom.
do you guys have your summer schedule already laid out? I know you guys get busier in the summer with festivals and stuff like that. So are you guys
Yeah,
already pretty well booked in?
yeah. Well, with that, we take a couple months off every year. So we haven't. Our last show was on January 3rd. And to answer your question, yeah, we got probably. I think there's about 35 shows on the website now at heartachetonight.com. And there's more coming. Tom's still working on it, but it's early in the year. But I mean, he keeps us real busy. So yeah, we got a great year, and we're all over the Midwest. So we this year actually we got a lot more shows in town. So we're doing more outdoor shows in town, which is good. A lot more people will be able to get out. So play to some hopefully some nice crowds and some nice weather.
Oh
Get
yeah,
some
for
other
sure.
information.
You guys always seem to have a real good draw. You know, I've been around a long time. People know what they're getting. Obviously, tribute acts right now are all the rage, but you guys were doing it even before that, right? I mean, it almost seemed like you guys were ahead of that curve. And that's just from my perception because I've seen you guys playing out and doing that for so long. And now it seems like
Yeah,
everyone's trying to do tribute act, and you guys have been doing it for
yeah.
20
I
years, you
mean,
know.
how's that evolved over the years? I mean, we talked about Ralph Covert, bad examples earlier. I
Mhm.
was I was doing business with him a few years before you, but from the original world to tribute cover, how has that evolved in your eyes?
It's really crazy because in the 80s, when to me, my perspective, I was in an original band trying to get a record deal in the early 80s, and everybody wanted cover music. We didn't want to play covers. We wanted to do originals. We would go in the studio. We'd try and shop our stuff to labels all over. Since the old, I think everyone's done that. And then when we started playing covers, everyone wanted originals, and that's around the time when the Bad Examples came out. And the original thing was great, and I mean Ralph did great. That band did great, and so I don't know. It's hard to read. So I don't know. Right now, it seems like there's a good mix of both. I think there's some really great new bands coming out. There's a lot of bands that have in recent years that have come out of Chicago that are pretty cool. And so now I think it's a mix. I think people want to hear both, but kind of like Mike said, people also want to know what they're getting when they come out. So I think when you play a festival, it's hard to sell an original act at a festival and expect a good draw just because people want to come to a venue like that and know what they're hearing. People come out, they come out. Maybe they like us, Heartache Tonight. Maybe they think that we're nice guys, but we know they're coming out to hear Eagles music. So our job is to deliver it and do the best show we can. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So it's weird, man. It's totally evolved. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's so much easier too, I think, when you're booking, right? Because like, if Tom's doing your booking, he's contacting these festivals. It's you're vetted. I mean, besides the fact that you've got a name and you've been out there for so many years, they know what it is. They don't have to explain it. It's like, hey,
Right.
we're Heartache Tonight. We are an Eagles tribute. Oh, great. How does 8
Yep.
o'clock
Yeah.
sound? How does 8 to 10 sound? And then you
Well,
go,
I hope
yeah, we're
it.
Black Diamond sessions. How does 2 p.m. sound?
Well, exactly.
Because they
But I
just
mean,
don't
there's
know. They
value. I
don't know
mean,
the
look,
band.
they don't know. They don't
They
know.
don't know.
And but I mean, there's nothing like playing original music. Talking about Tom Carey, we did a record with him about a year and a half ago, and you kind of need to do that. It's brain food. Play some originals. So I totally. I mean, I love that experience. So, but again, we're not getting the headline spot at a festival or a theater or anywhere else doing
Do,
that.
do you ever try to slide one of those originals into a Heartache Tonight set?
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, we've done that. Actually, we play this really cool theater called the Acorn Theater. I don't know if you guys have heard of that place. It's out in Three Oaks, Michigan. We've done, they're really nice to us
June
there.
20th.
So some of the places. Oh, June, is that when we're there?
June,
June
you'll
20th?
be there June 20th. Just giving you a
June
little plug.
20th. Thank you. Oh, you got my schedule up. Thank you. Yeah, and we did a couple, and people liked it. So Tom booked an original show. The name of that band is Tom, Carey, and the Ghost Runners. And we actually did a whole show there. But yes, to answer your question, I like sneaking them in. But, at the same time, it's even like with anything, when you're playing in a tribute band, if you want to put in another tune, even if it's an album cut, okay, you got to pull a hit out. You know what I mean? So people come there to hear the hits. So we got people coming up saying, can you play Wasted Time? Everybody loves Wasted Time. It's an awesome tune. But okay, what are we gonna pull out to put in a 7-minute ballad? It's the same thing with originals. If you're gonna stick in an original, you gotta take an Eagles tune out. So it's kind of hard to do, Mike.
But I love the fact
I don't know
that
if that was
you're doing
Chris.
it.
No,
Well, hell yeah! I mean, it's great. Tom's got some great tunes too, man. That's out there on Spotify. Plug. But it's a great record. We recorded about a year and a half ago. So.
And where can we pick that up at?
That's on Spotify, and he does. I don't know if he's selling copies, but if you go to Spotify under Tom Carey and the Ghost Runners, some great stuff. And it's basically everybody in Heartache Tonight plus a bunch of special guests. We got some horn players on there. I mean, we got Tom Trinka on there. You guys know Tom probably.
Oh yeah.
We got Tom's on there. We got Brian James, who was in Heartache Tonight for a couple years. We got
that guy's great. He's a beast.
Actually, he was on that show you were talking about. He was on that show at the Row you were talking about, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He mentioned he was going to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
he's a real good player. I got to play alongside him in Anchors Away last year. We did a festival. Yeah, I was just a fill-in. They had me fill in at the Taste of Orland Park, and he was the keyboard player. Cool. Real good player. So, and Tom Trinka is awesome. I get to play with Tom Trinka and Derek Procell in the All Star Mojo band. And Tom's got he's got some great credentials. I mean, he played Poplar Creek with Skip Town and the Greyhounds, I'm pretty sure. And he was in the
in that band, yeah.
Yeah, back in the Shadow Band.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And he's an old friend of Tommy O'Brien's, who's all over that record too. And he's one of the Heartache guys. So Heartache Tonight guys. So
Bean,
it's a good lesson if you want to check it out.
I'm looking on your website, Bean, and you shared the stage with Joe Cocker, Kansas, and Slash. Is that true?
Yeah, well, that was in the JP and the Cats days. So we used to play
what's going on there?
Up at Summerfest. So we were getting booked all over. I mean, I worked more in Wisconsin than I did in Illinois, and one of our agents at the time was ACA, and they always would get some of their bands, a few of their bands, into Summerfest, which and we always got an opening slot. At the time, it was on the PAP stage, which is now the Harley Davidson stage. And so because of that with that agency, we always got some pretty good time slots. So we opened they'd always get us, we'd either be the band right before the headliner or second right before the headliner. So there was always a gigantic crowd. So that's kind of where that came from. Primarily on the bio there that I put on, which, by the way, I got to update that bio. But that's where that came from. So I mean, we played there. Joe Cocker, I remember it was one of the first. My kids were at that show, and that was one of the first live shows, like a live concert other than Dad, that they saw. And so me and Connie, my wife Connie, we were in the 6th row there. After we got done playing, we came around and saw Joe, and I had my boys with me on, drinking some beers and watching Joe. It was fantastic. Great memory. Awesome. But we actually played, they were great to us there. And we always had some and with JP and the Cats, it was a very entertaining band because that guy was not only a great performer, but he was a little bit nuts on stage. So the crowd always loved us. We were always a great opener for the national acts.
I saw JP and the Cats at Slice of Chicago. In Palatine.
I was probably the drummer. I mean, we had, we used to play, remember how late that place was open?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he had to play till like 2 a.m. or something.
I think I saw you. I think I also saw you guys at Shades. Remember Shades on Milwaukee Avenue?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I played those gigs. Yeah, that was me probably because I was there. I mean, I joined my first gig with JP and the Cats was right after me and my wife got home from our honeymoon in New Orleans, which was I still remember the date. It was I think it was October. Well, the first week of October. I think it was the 10th, maybe October 10th, 1993. We had done a month of rehearsals, and then I went on my honeymoon and came back and started doing gigs, and then played with him for about 20, on and off for 20 years, 15 years. So
yeah,
and we're name dropping here. We Shadows of the Night, the late Jimi Sohns, our guy. What's the story?
I was
there
in
with
that band
Jimi?
for 4 years. So we are name dropping. I sent you a whole bunch of stuff to name drop. So that was me doing the name dropping. So, so Jimi, so when I was in my 20s, my early 20s, I was in that original band I mentioned, and I got done with that. And I had some friends who had just hooked up with Jimi Sohns. And Jimi had been away for a while. I'll leave it at that. And Jimi got back out and wanted to do shows, and he put a band together, and through networking through some other friends, they auditioned me, and I started doing shows with them. And that was right at the time, if you guys remember, when that 60s thing was all, was bubbling up big time. You had the Buckinghams and Crying Shames, the New Colony Six, all these Chicago bands were kind of resurging at that time and really playing some great venues. So all of a sudden we talked about playing originals in small clubs, and actually my band Skyline in the 80s, we did okay, but you go from that to all of a sudden playing, on some big stages, which when I was 26, I hadn't done a lot of that. So here I am playing, wherever opening for these 60s icons because of Jimi. So that's what that's from. So I was with him for about 4.5 years and played all over the country, played some great shows, big crowds. And
what was it like when when he did Gloria? He would just he would morph into something else.
Let's hear about my baby. She come around about 5 feet 4 from her head to the ground. Come around here, the proud baby. It feels so good. It feel alright. Baby G, when I go Gloria, guess what you do? Nope, we're not outside, I can't do that. Ready? Are you ready? Okay. We've all known our Glorias through the years. Fortunately, I knew a couple of them. Keep around here. Hit about 99. It feels so good. It feels alright. Come walking down my street. Turn the miles, bring your friend. Like a poor man now. They see me to roll. And feel away. Feel away. Feel away. Gonna shout and play. I'll probably shout all my life. Yeah, 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 it's so good. Woo! Jimi Sohns! Thank you. I want to thank Chick Norris. I raised this girl from a pup.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He'd go a little. It was all Jimmy, man. It was the Jimmy show. It was fantastic.
So,
And he was a really good singer. I mean, he had pipes, man. I mean, he really could sing.
But
Oh,
he
yeah.
could work he connected with the crowd. He knew when.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
so Pete,
They loved him.
Pete, you know this though, because I played with Jimi Sohns also with What Is Moo, right? He would come up because he was friends with Lori, and he would come up like at least 4 or 5 of our shows. He had come up and sang Gloria with us, and
Yeah.
I forgot about the guy, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the guy from Shadows of the Night is here, and he's gonna come up and sing
that's
Gloria."
right.
I'm like, and he was
Yeah.
great. The crowd loved it. It would be this 10-minute version of Gloria, and
Oh yeah.
but
Oh, yeah.
but
Oh, yeah.
Pete, I think Pete, you were at a couple of those shows, and you remember he would come up, and whatever, halfway through the night he'd come up and play.
Yeah.
He could work.
Yeah. No, it was great. Oh, he worked the crowd great, and he really likable, and he just loved doing it. So I miss him. He was a really good friend too. We got to be really good friends.
There was no better stage weasel. If you got a good gig, he would drop a dime, and next thing you know, he's doing Gloria and see you later.
He'd get on stage with anybody. Oh, absolutely, no doubt. No, that's some good examples. So, but it was good for me at the time because it turned me on to a whole different just all different venues, different players, just different stuff, and I hadn't traveled a lot playing music before, so it exposed me at that age to being able to do that. So it was pretty cool.
Because that cellar in Arlington Heights, I mean, that was old school. People don't realize there was shit going down in Arlington Heights.
Everybody played there, like so many people. I mean, I got people who've seen. I don't know. I might. I don't think I'm making this up, but I know people who say they saw the Who coming through town and playing that place. That level of band. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think it was just like a warehouse or something. I've never been there, so.
Where was it?
On before. It was in Arlington Heights.
Was it downtown Arlington Heights? But by
I thought it was downtown, like 14, and like by the railroad tracks on 14. I thought.
Yes.
Yeah.
Up the railroad tracks in that industrial area. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
And every time somebody tells me where it was, I still can't picture it. But I think it was over there, like northwest Arlington Heights. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
From
yeah,
downtown,
yeah.
from the train station. Yep.
Interesting.
Bongo, it's your time, I think, my friend.
Is it really? Is it that time already?
It's that time.
I just want you guys to know it was raining outside. Like this has like been the worst day of the day. If I was sitting on a beach, I might have been doing this from my phone. So, but I'm glad I was able to hop on. So
We'll take whatever you can do, Bongo Mike. Hit us.
Good. I always love these questions at the end of the show because it's a chance to find out a few things, digging a little deeper into Chris's background, not just about music, but just about anything. So the first question I always ask people, Chris, is what was your very first, and I mean big concert, what was your first concert you saw as a kid? I mean, whatever, 17, 15, whatever age you were, what was your first show?
Yeah. I know it. Frank Zappa at the Uptown Theater in 1976.
Very cool.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
A high school buddy of mine turned me on to Zappa. He goes, "Oh, you got to come see this guy." And I was a sophomore in high school, I think, right around then.
Chester
Freshman or
Thompson?
sophomore.
Was it Chester?
That show had Terry Bozzio on drums, George Duke on keyboards.
Steve Vai?
I think Patrick O'Hearn. No, that was before the Steve Vai days.
Yeah.
George Duke. Yeah, it was that band. It was like, which band was it? Wasn't rock. It was a lot of the guys that were on One Size Fits All. It was that era.
That
One Size
lineup.
Fits All.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Lineup.
I hear, and I they haven't done anything with it yet, but I keep hearing rumors that that they're going to be renovating the Uptown and bringing it back, but it seems to stall out every time I hear about it.
It's so sad because every time I hear about it, they show pictures of it and it's just falling apart. But what a great place. I've seen so many shows there. I mean, everyone has. It's just an amazing theater.
It was a little before my time, so I never got to go there. I've been outside the place multiple times around there, for the Riviera and about that, right? But I haven't been in there, and it looks like it's completely dilapidated.
Yeah, that's a bummer. That
When
whole
was
Uptown,
it?
my grandparents. I'm familiar with Uptown. My grandparents actually met at the Aragon Ballroom. Check that out.
Dancing, I bet.
Yeah, right. They used to do dances there, right?
Roller skating.
That's right. It was a ballroom, man.
A ballroom. Yeah. Wow, that's
Yeah,
cool. That's a good one.
I've seen Zappa about 5 times there at the Uptown after that.
Oh, really? So, wow. You just kept going back.
Kept going back, man. Every tour.
That's
I loved
awesome.
it.
I will say this, Chris, from a drummer's perspective, I actually have a collection of Zappa drumless tracks that I picked up on YouTube, and every now and then
Really?
I sit there and I struggle trying to get my ass through Dynamo Hum over and over and over again, just trying to play that groove over and over and over again, and it's impossible.
Yeah. I think that was Ralph Humphrey played. I think he played on that record. I don't know who, but yeah, I mean, all the Zappa stuff. My high school band actually did a bunch of Zappa covers, but we did the easy ones.
No, I'm telling you, there's no such thing as an easy Zappa.
Well, maybe not. Yeah.
Have you ever seen Dweezil Zappa?
No, I heard he's great. A buddy of mine seen him a bunch of times and actually became friends with him, I think. And it goes out to his shows.
Yeah.
And amazing. And he's got some of the players from Zappa players with Frank. Yeah.
It's been one of those bands on my list because obviously there's no Frank Zappa now, but I mean, it's always been one of those bands I'd love to just check out just because it's very quirky music and he's the only guy out there really keeping it alive, but he doesn't tour very often, but he comes around, every now and then.
He's got problems with his brother and his sister over the rights of the.
There's some of that going on. I heard about.
Moon Unit?
Yeah.
Moon Unit and Amit.
I think Amit's the guy that runs the show. I think it's something with him, maybe.
Oh, interesting. Cool. Next question for you. Favorite action movie of all time?
Favorite action movie?
Favorite action
movie.
My God. Whatever. You're sitting there on a Saturday afternoon, chilling out, and you're flipping through the stations, and I don't know, Die Hard, or something like. You have a favorite. How about your favorite?
Godfather an action? Is The Godfather an action movie?
It is an action movie. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Godfather or Shawshank.
Shawshank's great too. I mean, those are great movies. It doesn't have to be action. I guess
Godfather 2. There's more action in that, so I'll settle on Godfather 2.
That's a good one. How about Godfather 3?
Hold on. Yeah, Godfather 3. That wasn't a fail. That was cinematic genius. Come on, Beans. Opinion, Godfather 3. Go.
Definitely better than the critics said. Definitely. But Godfather 2 is mine, man. That's my favorite of the trilogy.
Yeah, it just had so much more action than the first. But the first was I felt like the setup, right? It was setting it up for whatever was going to come next. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like
that last whole thing with when he's settling family business at the end, man. That's action, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff. Robert Duvall, man, we just lost him a couple of weeks back.
I know.
Yeah, he was a classic, man. What a great actor. Everything that guy was in was just great. Speaking of Robert Duvall, Tender Mercies, you ever see that one?
I probably have, but it's not on the top of my list, so I'm going to say no.
It's just one of those movies. If you're a music guy, it's a pretty interesting portrayal of this guy. You know, that's I don't remember the exact storyline, but I remember it was really good. And yeah, he plays
Oh yeah.
this aging guy, plays, you know, musician. Interesting stuff. Uh,
Cool.
what when you're done with your gigs and you know you're hungry, what's your favorite pig out food? Like, what do you love? What Chicago food is your favorite?
Well, if I usually go home, I'll come home and I'll throw in a home run in pizza. That's the
Wow,
best thing.
nice.
Glass of
Okay,
wine, home run in pizza.
Pete's
That's it,
giving you
man.
the that he loves
Oh,
it.
is he? I can't see.
Oh, well, here,
Sometimes.
sausage and pepperoni or cheese?
Well, sausage first, but my wife is a vegetarian, so I get the cheese, which
All
is
right.
quite awesome, and I'm good with that. If she's home, I'll get a cheese, or we'll throw one in if I got one. But that's it. I love frozen pizza. That's my thing. I probably eat too much of it,
Legit,
but
legit.
That is good stuff. Last question for you here, Bean, and this is always Pete's favorite. He always loves to find this stuff out, and I actually want to know too because I love them, but a lot of people don't. Pop-Tarts, love them or hate them?
love them.
There you go. Which one?
I was recently on the road, and they were selling Pop Tarts in the hotel lobby, but they didn't have a flipping toaster. So I said to the dude, I said, "So how you gonna? What do I do with this?" He goes, "Oh no, everybody eats them raw." So I took them up to my hotel room and I ate them raw, and they were delicious. Strawberry.
Strawberry. There you go.
You can take like a lighter. No,
Hilarious.
Too hungry, man. I was too hungry.
That's a lot of work, Pete. You know, but
Lighter.
that's funny. They give you the Pop-Tarts, no toaster, or I guess you could microwave them. That would be kind of weird, but you could do that.
Nah, they'd get all soggy and weird. But if you want a sweet snack, it doesn't matter. Toasting's just a formality at that point. So there you
there's
go.
been so many incidents in the emergency room of people smoking their Pop-Tarts and eating their joint.
Oh God. Are you high?
Chris,
It's easy to get confused, I guess.
not yet,
There
not
you go.
yet.
Pete, no
Depends
more
what you want
edibles.
more.
Hey, Chris,
Yeah.
man, thanks for
Cool.
hanging out with us. What a great show. You want to run through the URLs one more time, the name of the band, where we can buy tickets and all that? Or should I just put up
Sure.
a screen right here for you?
You could put up whatever. Yeah, if you wanna, if you put up a screen, I could
Here,
probably read it.
April 4th, Hartford, Wisconsin, the Shower Arts Center.
Yes.
April 11th,
Shower Arts
Decatur,
Center, that's-
Illinois. Decatur, Illinois,
Yes.
Lincoln Square. April
Decatur, Illinois.
24th, Saugatuck, Michigan, Center of the Arts. April 25th.
Yep.
2 nights back to back. Holy crap. They love you in Michigan.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, there's 2 shows at the Shower Arts because the night one was sold out, so they just added one at 3:00. So if anybody wants to see a matinee, check out the Eagles and then go to dinner afterwards.
Yeah.
That's on April 4th.
I love those matinee shows.
Don't we all?
Right on, man.
I love them.
May 9th at Woodstock at the Woodstock Opera House. Are you going to?
Woodstock Opera House.
That's a nice place.
Yeah. Oh, we love that place. It's one of our favorites. It's awesome. It sounds great, and it's such a cool. I mean, it's so cool to play there. So,
And
yeah.
then May 28th in Rosemont, the Parkway Bank Park. Is that
So
center?
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yeah, I think we're opening their season. And we love playing there, man. That place is awesome. People just.
I saw
pack
you
in
guys there a couple years ago when there was a huge rainstorm. It was
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, it was like 2 or 3 years ago. It might have been like around August time frame, but you guys were playing there, and it was a downpour.
Did we keep playing, or did we?
I
did we
think you had to
scatter? I
stop.
don't remember.
They had a
did
squeegee
we?
the stage.
Oh, geez. Okay, yeah, I don't remember that one, but I'm sure it happened. Well,
Don't worry about water and
Crazy.
electricity. You'll be fine.
yeah,
Heartache-
exactly. Hey, I'm a drummer.
HeartacheTonight.com. Go there. Not a lot of shows.
Yes.
Congratulations. God bless America, Chris. Chris
Thank
Weng,
you. Appreciate it.
Dean, Chris
Yeah.
Rhodes, drummer for hire. Bongo Mike in
Go.
Florida.
Florida.
You better get that bongo circle going, or I'm gonna have to make one up, baby.
Oh God, you don't want him to do that, Mike.
There's no better AI artist than myself. Everybody.
Actually, I kind of do want you to make it up on AI now.
Okay. All right, Ricky Ricardo. Chris, man, thanks a lot. Everybody, take care.
Thanks, Chris.
Guys, look forward to seeing it out there. I come out to see some of your shows, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Loved having you.
And
Awesome.
reach out to Ralph. Say this big,
I will.
really big guy from the Cubby Bear says you need to come on. See if you. That's his
I will
40-year-old
take the
memory.
email you sent me. I'll send him an email, and I will reach out. Thanks for the reminder. I would have remembered anyway, but I will reach out to Ralph, and I need to reach out to him anyway, because I want to do some more bad exam shows. So I will let him know about the podcast and have him reach out to you or whatever. See if I can hook you guys up. All right,
All right,
great.
boys. Have a good night. Enjoy the.
Thanks, guys. Safe travels, Mike.
Hey, guys.
See ya.
Thank you.